Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
And we're so excited that you're joining us tonight on a cool night.
Ka-chow. It's freezing. It's not freezing.
Well, it's not freezing, but it's for California. It's cool.
I know that there's like a literal storm happening in the Midwest right now. Much love to our friends that are in places that actually are cold and actually get snow. But currently it is 51 degrees and I'm feeling like a big old baby. It's a really cold 51 degrees. Don't laugh
It's
at
a
me.
cold 51 degrees. We also should say there's no heating in this studio.
At all.
So 51 is what we get. That is okay, though. Right?
It's great.
It'll be a lot of
I'm
fun.
wearing fuzzy socks from Target.
There you go.
They're Valentine's Day themed.
There you go, because that's not that far away.
That's so true.
That is true. All right. So what should people do, Katie?
You should go to wherever it is that you're watching this, because I assume you're watching it. If not, I don't know how you're hearing me. Good for you. If I'm the voice that lives in your head.
What is it? The cap in your tooth or whatever. They're like, they used to joke about you could like pick up radio signals or whatever.
And if I'm the voice in your head, I'm so sorry. Go into the chat.
Congratulations. Like that's I don't know. Go to the chat.
You would not want me to be the voice that lives in your head.
Jiminy Cricket be cool.
Anyway, go into the chat. Say nice things. Tell us the weather where you are. Unless it's snowing and you want to make fun of us, then don't do that.
That is true.
That's not nice.
Before we get too far into this, I'm gonna call an audible. The Disneyland Half Marathon.
Yes.
Returns to Disneyland Resort this weekend. And we are going to cheer them on Sunday morning, bright and early. So make sure if you would like to be there and help us cheer them on, you can make signs or whatever. And if you know somebody, we'll cheer them on too. But make sure you stay tuned to dapsmagic.com. We will have an article up in the next day or so coming up with our plans. And it'll be a lot of fun and hopefully make some people smile.
That's always the goal, really, is to make people smile. So
that is very cool. All right. But before we get into that return, we have to say something went goodbye. And that was Tale of the Lion King on Sunday, which was a very, it's always fun on those kind of events or those milestones, because it seems like the fan community really comes out en masse.
Yeah.
To say goodbye, and you get this wonderful support for the cast and the crew that make these shows happen, and Sunday was no exception. The last show, like they're cheering for every song as it's starting, and then obviously as the final curtain call, or without a curtain, happens, everybody's going crazy. And my question is, because I think everybody liked that show a lot, what would you like to see next in the Fantasyland Theater? You can't say Rogers the Musical.
I wasn't going to.
Okay, good.
I like the step between theme park performance and like Hyperion theatrical Broadway level.
Okay.
So not making the magical map, because that's already been done, but something in that vein. Something that is much more accessible and friendly to younger children, because the Hyperion Theater can also be big and scary to kids, because it's a very big and dark theater, and it's enclosed and all those things. So I think it's very nice to have these theatrical productions featuring characters that kids know and love, but it's much more inviting. It's open. I
almost wonder if you could do something that people might get a little upset with this, but something that's in between the Frozen sing-along and the Frozen musical that was in Hyperion, that, you know, a step up from Blast was awesome.
Bring
I
back
love that.
Blast. You're so right, Ivy. Bring back Dick Tracy.
Or Animazement.
Videopolis.
Which we're working on cleaning up a video we have of Animazement and hopefully having it looking awesome and on our YouTube channel soon. But I think you could do something there where it's maybe not as flashy as what they put in the Hyperion, and a little bit easier to always make work. And, you know, almost like the Beauty and the Beast show in Florida, but with Frozen and a little bit more updated. Like, I think you could do something like that, or some other new show. Encanto would probably be popular, but something that the whole family's really going to enjoy. And I I don't know which one that would be off the top of my head.
I think it could be Encanto. A Videopolis mixed with Disney Junior Live. Now there's an idea.
That's a cute idea.
Like a Videopolis was teens, but like making it more family.
A Pixar dance party. I'm just thinking, if they have Pixar Fest coming in a couple months, why not do your favorite songs from Pixar?
So what they do at Tomorrowland?
No, like make it more of a show
Yeah.
than a yeah.
I think Encanto would be great, mainly because yes, we got the "We Don't Talk About Bruno" moment, but I think there's so many other fun songs that could be in the parks.
Well, and it's just it's very conducive to having people sing it live.
And it's a colorful show, and you can condense it into a cool 20 minutes pretty easy, in my opinion. But yeah, no, I just think something like that would be really, really fun. And I would like to see a theatrical production with the props and the music and the live singing. And I think that that's what that theater does best.
Yeah, I do too. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a long-term thing. It could be, maybe it's, in my perfect world, they would have something that goes from like spring through summer, maybe the beginning of Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Then it goes dark for a month and a half. And then have like a holidays, Christmas, like Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Ice skating.
Something. No, I know what you're going. But like you could do something really fun with like Mickey Mouse and Santa Claus and like just really schmaltz it up and make it cute. It is a similar
venue to the Beauty and the Beast, what is it? Live on Stage or Beauty and the Beast Sing Along?
Yeah.
And Hollywood Studios. It's a very similar stage and venue to that. And so I'm thinking about the Jollywood Nights with that big production. Something like that during the holidays would be very cute.
Yeah. Maybe not quite that big because I think that'd be a little bit expensive.
Scaled down.
Yeah. I agree. No, I think that'd be fun. That would be very cool.
Good ideas.
Yeah. Keep letting us know your ideas in the comments.
I also like Bear in the Big Blue House because that is a DCA 1.0 throwback.
Or Tarzan.
Or Tarzan. But yeah, DCA 1.0, Bear in the Big Blue House in what is now Disney Junior Live on Stage. So
yeah, lots of fun things they could do. Or they could just take the theater out and put something else there.
Grass.
I don't know what, but
grass.
Put a land there, mini land. I don't know.
I know that grass.
20 years of Home on the Range. There it is. That's
somebody
definitely...
tell Noah. Somebody tell Noah loves Home on the Range. So
all right.
Somebody tell him.
So we're gonna move on now. We thought for IndieCam this week we would mess with things a little bit. So what we did is we made, like the breadcrumbs thing. Well, we used treat crumbs or treats to try to create a trail that Indy would follow.
He'd never done anything like that.
He'd never done anything like this. And he didn't know, like we weren't prompting him. But he was not as good at it as we were hoping.
No.
Like, I think he kind of figured it out, but he didn't really figure it out till it was done. And then he's like, wait, I want to go do it again. But enjoy this IndieCam of him trying to follow the breadcrumbs.
He's such a good kid.
He sure tries.
He tried really hard.
To answer your question, Bailey, not a whole lot. We basically just let him do his thing and stay out of the way as much as we can.
Sometimes it's me just going, "Oh, kiddo."
Yeah, but this case, it was just me following him around, trying not to fall in the pool. And
also, you can see how scared Indy is of
the pool. Yes. All right. We learned this week that the Country Bear Jamboree is going to close at the end of the month to make way for the Country Bear Musical Jamboree, if I recall.
Yes.
And that means it's got, about 2 weeks left, 2.5 weeks before it closes. And then it will be reimagined to do different styles of country music with Disney songs.
Yeah.
What is the one Disney song that you'd really like to hear?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm trying to think of something. I'm trying to think of something like silly, funny, goofy.
Oh, okay.
The wonderful.
Like, how do you do?
The Wonderful World of Color.
Okay.
Mainly because I think that would lend itself to a very good country song.
Okay. Yeah. Or something from a Goofy movie. I feel like you could pull off.
Oh, that'd be good.
Let It Go. I could totally imagine them doing that. How Do You Do and Shake Hands would be like, or The Walrus and the Carpenter or something. Like something really random from Alice in Wonderland. I think could be funny.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's actually going to happen, but that's okay. I'm trying to think what other ones would be. Something from like Robin Hood, like Robin Hood, Little Oodle Ollie. Yeah, that could work.
Oodle Ollie would be really funny. Hellfire.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Could you imagine?
I do feel like there's going to be some from modern movies too, like something like Moana or something, and
Moana or
Frozen, obviously.
Frozen or Encanto potentially.
Something from The Lion King could work.
Definitely The Lion King. I could see that happening. I'm trying to think of a song from Lion King. Circle of Life. I Just Can't Wait to Be King. That's what it would be.
Yeah, that could do.
Like, I'm just thinking of every song I think of. I'm like imagining it with a banjo line. I'm like, well, if the banjo line works,
but it's different types, because it's like the thing I thought was interesting. Like one of the ones that they highlighted in the Disney Parks blog is like they're going to do pop country, which means you can basically do anything.
It's Taylor Swift.
Because like
there's bluegrass, there's pop country, there's Crazy Kirk of the Hillbillies should have been.
They should have been involved. I kind of missed that. Yes.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah. But I will say, I posted this on
the Mickey Mouse Club March.
I posted this on twitter.com, and if you call it something else, I don't.
High School Musical is a very good idea.
I don't mind that.
That's a very good idea.
I don't dance from High School Musical specifically, or Fabulous from High School Musical 2 specifically. I just named 2 songs from High School Musical 2 because that's the best one. Anyway, it's true.
Well, now I'm thinking of the more recent like Disney Channel movies. I'm like, oh, there's actually a lot of music they could pull from.
Teen Beach Movie. Zombies.
Yeah.
Descendants.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot it'll be interesting to see what they are.
Anyway, I posted this on twitter.com. And I don't know, there's just something kind of sad realizing that I have seen the original Country Bear Jamboree for the last time.
It's true.
I wish there
Unless you go to Tokyo.
I wish there was a way to know that you were in the good old days where you loved them. Lemonade Mouth, Sky High. Let's get into this. I like this.
There we go. Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
Uh-huh. Something crazy. I don't know.
Heffalumps and Woozles.
There you go. I don't think that one's going to be it. We know bare necessities, but that's about it so far.
That's about it.
All right. Continuing on, it is that time of the week where we talk about our favorite sports team thing. And it's time for the Wrexham Report. Katie, what is our Wrexham report this week?
In great news,
Great news.
Wrexham is
Great news.
advancing to the 4th round of the FA Cup.
And how did they do this week?
They beat in the 3rd round. They beat Shrewsbury with a score of 1-0. And not next week, but in the 4th round, which is going to be at the end of the month, they are going to be facing the Blackburn Rovers. Now, you may be asking yourself, what is the FA Cup?
What is the FA Cup?
The FA Cup it's in a similar vein to the World Cup and how that works. But it is random draws of teams. And it is every team from Premier League down to League 9. And for reference, we are in English League 2 as Wrexham. But it makes for very exciting, interesting football because it's literally like they do like the rolly thing and they pull a name out of who's playing who, which led to in 1992, Wrexham beat Arsenal in round 3, and Arsenal is a Premier League team, and that's pretty crazy. So you get these really crazy showdowns where sometimes you think that it's going to be oh, well, that team's a giant and they're in the Premier League and they have all this money and funding. Of course, they're going to win. But you just get to watch very exciting football. So,
and that's our Wrexham report. All right, another thing to report on is today we learned that there is going to be a new Star Wars movie. In fact, it's going to be the next Star Wars movie, and it's called The Mandalorian and Grogu. What a title. What do you think about this? And it's going to be, I think this is important too. It's directed by Jon Favreau.
and
Because he's directing it. What do you mean and?
I thought it was and.
No, he's directing it.
Oh.
Jon Favreau is directing it. Mm-hmm. Dave Filoni is one of the producers. If that's
there we go.
That's where you're going. But he's also the chief creative officer of Lucasfilm, so that makes sense.
Heck yeah.
I think you will see he is now a producer for everything Star Wars. But
as he should be.
So Mandalorian and Grogu, what do you think of this from the very little we know? And that's basically an adventure with Mandalorian and his apprentice, Grogu, according to Jon Favreau.
I'm excited. Hesitantly. I am always afraid of getting too much of something I love. And I am worried because I really didn't watch much of Mando season 3. Like I did, but it was not as intensely watching as the first 2 seasons. So I am very worried of, am I burnt out on the story that Lucasfilm has to tell about the Mandalorian and Grogu? Because we also have a season 4 coming, yes?
Unless this is it. I think this is it.
I would prefer this to be it, and this to be...
I thought season 3 should have been a movie.
I agree.
But...
It structured itself like a movie. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see Star Wars on a big screen again. I love seeing Star Wars in a movie theater. At first, when I saw this announcement this morning, I didn't process that this was like a new movie that was going to happen.
I thought it was a Dave Filoni one at first.
I thought it was they were taking season 3 and putting it in theaters.
Just like throwing it on the big screen.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's what I thought was happening. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And
yeah.
Then I, read a little bit more. But I also would like to thank Ivy for being the person to break that news to me.
There you go. No, I thought it was interesting because when I first saw it, like I just saw the headline. I'm like, oh, so that's the wrap-up movie. Like I thought that was the Dave Filoni, like this wraps up the Mandoverse, blah, blah, blah. And because they really hadn't talked about another movie coming into the Mandoverse before then. And so then as I was reading more about it, I'm like, oh, I bet this is season 4 of The Mandalorian. And then my next question is like, does he keep the same ship or are they going to do something bigger because it'll look more impressive on the big screen? I don't know. Like there's things that I think when you change the format of where it's being shown, you can change some of the settings, I guess.
But I don't want them to change it just to do it. Like I want there to be purposeful storytelling behind it.
Oh, I'm sure there would be because it's Jon Favreau.
It's Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a foregone conclusion. And I think the interesting thing will be is this is making a movie that basically everybody's been asking for because they're like, hey, let's have Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni do a movie, which basically this is what it'll be. And you have to wonder like how it's going to be received, because it seems like in some ways, no matter what you do, Star Wars, they're going to complain about it once it gets on the big screen. And you do have to wonder, like, will this be the end of their golden run, or will it be like, oh, these guys can do no wrong, even if it's not a great movie? I don't know. Like, and I hope it's a wonderful movie.
I don't know. But every time I feel like this should have its own graphic for how much this comes up every time I talk about Star Wars. I would like to go on my soapbox. We should just have a thing that says Katie's soapbox. Be nice to people, even if you disagree with what they enjoy. Like, if Mr. Naps comes up to me and is like, Star Wars The Phantom Menace is the greatest film that's ever been put out by Lucasfilm. I could sit here and say, that's a very interesting opinion. Let's have a discussion. And that blossoms into something that we can discuss. Or I can say, no, that's a bad opinion and I don't want to talk to you anymore. And that shuts a wall or that shuts down the conversation. It puts a wall between us. And that's far less exciting because we're friends because we like Star Wars. We're friends because we like Lucasfilm. We're friends because, like, the things that we love should not tear us apart. And see, Bailey and I still love each other.
And
even
someday, Katie will see the whole movie.
Even though,
didn't you fall asleep
the first time?
Oh yeah, okay, never mind.
Bailey and I love each other, even though she, like, Rogue One is in her top Star Wars movies, and it's like my bottom. But friendship is about agreeing to disagree, disagreeing without being disagreeable, and moving forward and making the world better.
So what do you think is going to happen in this movie?
I don't think anything of consequence. Like, I feel like it's going to be like...
It has to be a consequence, though.
I know.
Because, like, where everything got left off from season 3, like...
yeah. Well, actually, from Book of Boba Fett, which is Mando 3.5.
Yeah, but season 3 was after that.
Oh, it was Book of Boba Fett was Mando 2.5.
Yeah, but where everything got left off with season 3, they're really setting up this whole Mandalorian whatever thing on Mandalore. Mandalore. But it'll be interesting to see. Like, I think you could really do some cool stuff if that's the direction it goes. And that could be one of the reasons they chose to go big screen for this, because if it's a huge planetary battle thing, like, there's a lot of stuff we've seen in The Mandalorian that would have been really cool on the big screen. And like, I'm thinking different things each season now as I'm saying this, but I think it'll be cool if it's kind of a high stakes in their corner of the galaxy. And maybe that is setting up, the Mandalorians over here, and then you've got Grand Admiral Thrawn over here, kind of this new threat, and then you've still got the New Republic over here, and you've kind of got all of these different factions over here that maybe come together, and who knows, maybe it ends up being kind of a neutralization of Thrawn, and Mandalore goes back to Mandalore. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, but I can't wait. We also learned that Ahsoka season 2 is in the works, and that is officially happening. Dave Filoni is working on that one along with his Mandoverse movie. What do you think, Ahsoka 2?
Electric Boogaloo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I am not super really into right now all, like, the deep, gritty, like, moody Star Wars. And I think that maybe that's why season 3 of Mando didn't.
Is it too much like Luke? Because he's kind of moody in the first movie.
He just wanted to go to Tosche Station to pick up his power.
Yeah, exactly. You're talking deep moody, and I'm like, oh, just like it started.
Also, Anakin.
And there is a theme going here. We have to have a moody.
I hate sand. It's coarse and it's irritating and it gets everywhere. That's my impression of Anakin Skywalker. Everybody,
well done.
Thank you. No, I like my steaks medium rare. But no, I don't know. I sometimes just want something kind of lighthearted and kind of fun. And when I think of Ahsoka as like as an overarching like theme,
Is it too serious for you?
it was just too serious for me.
It is interesting because it's a very different tonal shift from Star Wars Rebels, which Ahsoka really is kind of the continuation of the
Yeah.
Rebels story. And I really liked Ahsoka, but I liked Rebels better, I
Yeah,
think.
it's fair.
And that's an interesting thing for me to think about, like, because it's the same characters basically.
Yeah.
But I do like the tone of, or maybe the storytelling way they did it with their devices in Rebels, maybe a little bit better,
That's fair.
even though it had some heavy stuff and explored some interesting things. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where they take it. I'm
It's
betting it's
also
quite a ways off, but who knows?
it's also sometimes when things are very serious and all these things, it takes itself very seriously. And it's very like, oh, you wouldn't understand. As where I feel like something like Rebels, their storytelling is actually much more accessible to a lot more people, which then has a more diverse audience, which then leads to more interesting storytelling, if that makes any sense.
I wonder too if just the medium itself is a little bit of like a, it's hard to enter at that level because
Yeah.
it feels like it's the middle of a story. It's like, oh well, I didn't watch Mando maybe, or I didn't watch Rebels, so should I really watch Ahsoka? Like there is kind of that thing of, I think you could have just picked up and watched Ahsoka and nothing else, and you'd have been fine.
No.
Well, you couldn't have, but you weren't into it, were you?
Clone War or Rebels?
No, Ahsoka.
I was into Ahsoka, but honestly, the other thing that turned it like it was very serious.
Was
The
it
other
too?
thing that turned it off was it was so lore heavy, and it was so like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You guys get it, and I was like, I don't get
I
it.
thought they were just like trying to share what had happened, but yeah, I don't know. Like it'll be. I'm looking forward to more of it, but I'm more excited about the Mando and Grogu.
Same.
All right, we are now in Geeks Corner Plus. If you have any questions or comments you'd like, throw them in the chat. We will stick around for a minute or two on this cool evening in January and chat with you about them as Katie looks to see if the show mascot will wake up. I doubt he will. Who knows? We'll see. He's stretching. There you go. He might knock over the mic if we do that. No, he's very sleepy.
The missile is EP.
Yes, he is very sleepy. All right. Well, I don't see any comments. So, Katie, what should people do?
You should go to our Patreon and find all the Indiana content because he's so cute. You should go to dapsmagic.com, check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens. Make sure to subscribe to our mailing list so that you don't miss where we are going to be cheering on all of the amazing Run Disney participants. Some of them we know, some of them we don't. Strangers are just friends you haven't met yet. So come on down, come hang out with us. It'll be freezing cold.
Let's make some people smile.
It'll be fun.
Exactly. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. So we've got a lot of stuff still going up. We always got a lot of stuff going up. As we make our way to 100,000 subscribers, you can help us get there. Invite your friends, family, the random person you meet at the store to subscribe to us. That would be great. Also, Clocky is right. The Dapsies are coming as we get closer to the Oscars. We are starting to actually plan ahead this year.
We also picked a date.
We do have a date, so we will announce that at some point as well. But that is all the time we have for you this week. So we will see you around the corner.
Bye.